sushi and Thai. So it's Japanese sushi
and
Thai. And the chefs in the back were Thai.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, that's like so much shit mixed up with
The food is good though, I'm not gonna lie. But they were hella racist and they were full of shit. But anyways, alright, so start the actual really conversation.
Like prejudices.
Well, they were racist. Well,
now it starts getting like complicated, like the types of racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, like besides white people being racist, like.
But I feel like white supremacy makes it so that like there can be pockets of interlateral racism. Like I feel like the racism against POC becomes internalized so that they try to other themselves and also be intralaterally racist. Like being like, oh well, you know, they like posturing themselves above another race because but like I mean I feel like that's still like that's a catalyst, not a catalyst, sorry, that's like that stems from white supremacy and is not racism in my opinion. It is ignorance for sure because
it's definitely ignorance.
Yeah, for sure ignorance, for sure prejudice. All of those words that are very like closely intertwined with like white supremacy.
It was definitely internalized racism. So, I mean, I guess that's tricky because some of the things they would say to me, they'd be like, "Why can't you have?" There was two other black girls that worked there, Cassie and Janelle. They were both sisters. They were both mixed, black parent and white parent. But they're like, "Why can't you have your hair like them, like straight?" Is what they would tell me.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't know, because when people say like anti-black racism, like that's like a term that has made sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like if you say anti-blackness or anti-black instead of anti-black racism or something, like I don't know, but just it like makes sense as a thing to like distinguish how like white people can be like anti-black, but also like some Asian person could be like, oh, like your hair is like African-ish or like nappy or whatever, and like whatever like people like can identify as being like black or whatever.
True, and I think that I also like was thinking about like, you know, when I was riding my bike, I was like, I wonder like what white people think when they see me, like not even just me but anyone of color, because like the thing is like the media machine like gives you like bullshit stereotypes and these caricatures of what people of races are or what they're like, and it's like what the fuck, like that's why whenever like I'm getting intimate with like maybe a white person, a white cis dude, I'm just like, what the fuck do you think? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, do you think I'm like do you think like some fucking like caricature of me is like something you've seen in a music video, something you've seen in a TV show? Like, do you think I'm like some sassy black woman, like and that's what you want? Yeah. But also mammy too, like, oh, this fat black girl's gonna take care of me or some shit like that. And like all these like tropes that they've learned that like they couldn't possibly know anything about me, but like if they're interested in me, even if it's not sexually at first, even if it's just like something kind of platonic or kind of friendship, it's like, what the fuck do you think, you know? Because like when I hang out with white people, I'm already ready and like braced for some racist shit, even if it's white people I don't know. Especially, I mean, like here's the thing: when it's white people I know, I'm not gonna say I'm not shocked, but like with that Izzy bullshit, I didn't think Izzy was gonna say some shit like that. Cause Izzy followed I have a friend named Elizabeth that I hung out with for a couple times, and they've never said anything racist. They've never done anything that I would assume to be racist or anything like that. And that's what fucks me up, is because when we all got together, when I was like, I brought Indee to visit with them on Easter because like they have food, and I was like, where are they trying to get rid of all this food that they had? And I was like, cool, me and Indee are gonna drop by, and like I knew that like they'll also have some recreational activities that we would do, and that'd be fun and a good time, mad light and cool. But it's like, it's weird because it's like, I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, we were watching.
Show me that video.
Yeah, we were watching videos. First I showed them, I should have showed everybody the shit New Orleans girls say video, and I thought that video was so funny because like if you've ever met anyone from New Orleans, they do be talking like that. I'd be like, Lori, like it's just like, it's awesome, but it's like, it is a caricature of what black girls in New Orleans are doing and saying and acting like. And so I was like, you should see this, because it's like, it's not super congruent, but it's like, it's not that it's congruent, it's just, it's everybody in New Orleans that's been here. It's not just girls, but it's like one of those things that was like a meme. It was like shit girls say, and then you fill in the blanks. So then we went on to something Pearl showed me, because Pearl's from Philly, just like Indee is from like from Philly and Virginia. Yeah, he used to live in Philly for a little bit, so I was like, oh, I think you would think this is mad funny. And of course, Indee thought it was mad funny. And I thought it was mad funny just watching Indee watch it, because I was like, I feel like you probably get more of the references than me, but the shit is hilarious, notwithstanding. It's called Shit Philly Girls Say. No. It's by this person named Asia Starr, and it's fucking hilarious. But the whole time we're watching it, Izzy and her boyfriend were not laughing. Like, they were almost like, it was almost like awkward, because like, me and Indee are like dying. Like, me and Indee are dying. Like, we are like, yo, we are like joke the fuck out, like laughing into the couch, waving hands, like dying. And then we got these two white people just sitting here like crickets, you know what I mean? Had nothing to input. And then one of them makes like some comment about how, like, you know, like Izzy makes some comment about like, oh, like you know, like an us and them kind of thing. Like, there's a, like, just, it was very classist. It was like, oh, there's a certain class of people, there's a certain, not even people, like, there's a certain type of woman, like the virtuous and good and want to help women, and then these type of women who are like lesser, and it's like, first of all, it's a fucking, but not this though, first of all, it's a cis black dude wearing a wig talking about this is what Philly girls say, and like, that's the funniest part about it, is like, that the fact that this person is very clearly from fucking Philly, very clearly hang out with other, there's other people in the show, but it's for sure a cis dude who is fucking like wearing a wig and just talking shit about like shit that is like congruent to like Philly and like what Philly people use as like dialects. And that's funny to me. But they tried to make it seem like there was like a us and them kind of thing where like me, Indee, and Izzy like all like conflating Indee as a femme person, like not as a them, not as a they. Like totally like making them have a gender that is synonymous with she, making us, me, Indee, and Izzy, all she's, and saying that we are the type of virtuous woman, and like that's why we're all together and hanging out, and how we can watch this and know that that's not us. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Because that's some bullshit. Because that's not even a fucking, that's not even a she. Like, first of all, first and fucking foremost, that person is like, this is not a gender thing at all that we're watching. Like, we're watching something. Well, I mean, it is, but it wasn't. It was like, if they would have said some shit like, which they said to backtrack, like, oh, well, we're not from Philly, so we just didn't get it. But they tried to make it deeper than that shit. They tried to make it seem like, oh, like there's an us and them kind of thing.
They were trying to make it seem like there was like a certain like standard or like even like caliber to some sort of like womanhood and then there's a certain like population or like group of like women who like uphold that, and they're like it's almost on like respectability shit.
For sure, on the respectability shit.
But like the virgin whore dichotomy kind of thing.
Sort of, but more just like, you know, respectful and like presentable versus like ratchet and like you know,
and the thing is, this is a white woman, and we're in a white woman's home, and she's trying to give us this fucking like little blurb about womanhood, and it's like, hold up, bitch, like not at all, like, because like not only are we like not talking about this conversation, like you're not even being intersectional right now, but most importantly, you're being fucking racist as fuck by trying to say that like because the thing is, it was black men in wigs when we were watching Shit New Orleans Girls Say, the same fucking like setup as the second video, but they tried to liken it to, you know, again, like not so much virgin whore did to me, but very similar to that, like some trope bullshit, like, oh, like we're educated women, so we get to sit here, and it's like, whoa, it's
basically like, what it sounds like is like, from what I'm gathering from what you're saying, is that they're basically saying like, oh, you two are basically white seeming in like your behavior, and so
pretty much
you're following this idea of what a woman should be. Because black women are not what women should be, and they're not virtuous.
But not only that though, but trying to police language too, because like these people are using like this is a video made to like be funny, made to talk about like the dialects like that people use in certain areas. But honestly, it is like they're really trying to make fun of black women and like, you know, make fun of like ratchet women and like. Or female-bodied people who appear to be ratchet, and that's anyone black, honestly. Like, anyone black could be called ratchet, and most of the time, white people don't even know what the fuck that word means, because it's synonymous with nigga, like, to be honest with you. Ratchet has turned into nigga, and it's a subtle way to say, call somebody a nigga, and that's what it is. And that's what Izzy was trying to get at, like, oh, look at these niggas nigging, and y'all ain't nigging, so y'all are on some other shit, and that's what I read out of it, if I can be plain.
And Izzy was trying to say.
Yeah, and that's why I don't fuck with Izzy no more, like, homies out for a crawfish boil. I'm like, because bitch, I don't fuck with you. Cause it's like, I don't have time for that shit. I'm trying to hold space right now for a black woman who like fucking won't even feel me on white supremacy. I ain't got no time for no white people. Like, I'm trying to get pearls together. I don't have no time for no white people for me to be giving out cookies and motherfucking pamphlets. I don't have time. I don't have fucking time. I really don't. It's like, bitch, you are too old. You've been following my blog for too long. If you ain't reading none of these text posts, bitch, then I don't fuck with you. And that's just fucking that. If you just here for the pictures of the food, then fuck off. Go look at the fucking Paula Dean's website. Get out of here.
Did I meet that person?
No. And you never will. You never will.
Who's the person
I
that did
meet that number
Nikki?
from my phone.
Yeah, you met
Okay, I didn't want to mix them up. I didn't want to.
Nikki?
Who's Nikki?
Like,
White blonde hair?
yeah.
Yeah, you met Nikki.
Short blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day that like we were at Flora's and like you read Indee's tarot.
Yes, that's
okay.
Nikki.
Okay, because I didn't want to mix them up. I didn't want to go in on another white person because I thought it was
nah. I don't want to go in on another white person.
Fuck you, bitch!
Yes. No, they can get it too.
I like that point you brought up though about ratchet basically being the new word of nigga.
It is.
It's a more PC word white people can use.
Yeah, white people love to use the word ratchet. White people love to use words they don't fucking know what they mean. They love to ask people of color what the fuck they mean. And they especially love to ask fucking light-skinned people what the fuck words mean and shit like that. And it bothers the fuck out of me because it's like, bitch, I'm not going to give you a pass on racism. I'm not going to. Exactly. And that's what I was talking about, mixed people being diet black. Because when people ask you if you're mixed, they're asking you that for a very few amount of reasons. They're asking you because they're trying to objectify you. They're asking you because they're trying to sexualize you. And they're asking you because they want to know how much racist shit they can say in front of you.
And how much black you actually are.
Yeah, but that's
they
also...
feel like they can get away with more around you. Yeah.
Exactly. All the times I've ever told somebody I was mixed, it never ended well for me. You feel me? Like telling people wait, what'd you say?
I said 3-drop rule.
Oh God.
See, like, here's my thing.
One drop rule.
Like, somebody asked me to define what person of color means, and I feel like the reason why we have white passing POC is because we're looking at people for their skin, and also noting the fact that because your skin is this color, obviously you have a different experience than someone whose skin is a different color. But someone tried to argue with me about white passing POC because I said that it doesn't take long for me to be around white people to realize that they fucking are not educated in the ways that I've been educated, and that they fucking, and I don't mean that in a way like I'm an elitist. It means like I'm taking time to research white supremacy, anti-racism, fucking sentiment. Also like trying not to be fucking erasing of trans people, like trying to be like not only that, but intersectional in my feminism, intersectional in my fucking life, not because I want to, because I have no choice but to be, because I am intersectionally oppressed. So like as a person like that, I need to fucking hold space for other people that might not have the other like oppression that I hold. Like I'm trying to hold space for fat bitches, but if you a fat white bitch trying to bitch to me about being a fat white bitch, I don't have no fucking time for you. Cause I'm a fat black bitch. Like what do you want to talk about, bitch? You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do feel like every time I've ever identified as mixed, it's only led to bullshit. It's only led to people trying to make me feel some type of fucking way about my mixedness, or asking me all these questions like, bitch, do you want to hear a fucking novel? Like they trying to find out who fucked who was white in your family. Like I've had people just bring and be like, so who's white in your family?
Oh my God, yeah.
Who's black in your family? So is your dad the black one? Because as soon as somebody asks me what you're mixed with, and I say my mother is whatever, they're like, oh well, who's black then? You know what I mean? They want to know. Does the blackness come from your mama? Does the blackness come from your daddy? Like they need to know. They need to know. Were you born in a black womb? They want to know. They want to know. But not because they fucking care about me. It's because they trying to find out what that pussy look like, what them titties look like. And that's what it is. They want to know, like, what's going on? Do you got light titties? You got dark titties? What's going on? I swear to God, I didn't do shit talking like, oh, you're mixed? And the conversation comes out of nowhere to like, oh, is that pussy pink? Is that pussy like, what the fuck? Bitch, my mixedness has nothing to do with the color of my pussy, the color of my fucking nipples, bitch. Get out of here. It's just like, so that's why I'm like, I'm black, bitch. I'm black. Because ain't no fucking guesswork then. Ain't no motherfucking story I gotta tell your ass. I'm black. Done. If we cool like that, I'll tell you about my white passing POC mother, for sure. I'll tell you about my Russian grandmother, for sure. But that shit don't make nothing, that's not congruent to my experience. I'm a black woman. When I go outside, niggas don't see my white mama in the back, my white grandma in the back. They see my black ass in the front. That's what they fucking see. So it's like, it's hard for me to hold space, because again, like, this all came out when I was talking to a mixed person, a person who identified as mixed, who was like, I'm not gonna stop holding space for my whiteness. And I'm like, bitch, that's a problem. Why don't you see? Because you trying to hold space for what the fuck are you saying? You know what I mean? It's another way to other yourself. And I was talking to Kali about this, how like before I used to be like, oh well, you know, someone used to be like someone will blatantly ask me, are you black? And I would say no. And then I would tell them all my mixes, but it's like, bitch, what is this? What is that construct of mixed race bullshit? My mom is a white passing POC who wants nothing more than to be seen as a black woman, but no one will give her that shit. I have the ability to be a black woman and be seen as a black woman. Why the fuck am I running away from that shit? Right. Why do I have to see blackness as... That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to fucking sit here and hold space for my white grandmother and my white passing POC mom's white skin. I'm not going to do that shit, because that only furthers my mom's internalized hatred for herself and for her dark-skinned sisters. Like, my mom has mad hate towards dark-skinned women because she feels like they hate her, when in reality, they hate the European standard of beauty that makes your ass so seen. They don't hate you. They don't got time to hate no individual light-skinned bitch. They got time to hate the light-skinned fucking privilege and the white-skinned privilege. That's what they got time to hate for. And if you over here basking in it and acting like you don't see that shit, that's a problem. I can be mad at you for that shit. And stop acting so hurt and shit when people talk about light skin fucking privilege, because it's real. Don't act like you don't have that shit. And that's where I'm trying to come from. Like, I'm sick of these mixed people trying to act all hurt and shit when we talk about light skin privilege, because that shit is whack to me. That shit is whack to me. I'm so sick of it, because it's like they want to act so fucking, oh, we're all black. Yeah, we all black, bitch. But like when you go to the beauty counter, how many colors of beige do they got for your ass?
Like honestly, 80 colors of beige.
Honestly,
beige, light beige.
They got honey beige, sun beige, light beige. Then they got the nerve to have caramel next to the cocoa, and that's the end of the color spectrum. Right? Caramel and the cocoa. What about all the in between motherfucking shades? You telling me a dark skinned bitch supposed to fucking mix and match? Get the fuck out of here! I got time for this shit. And you can't even mix and match, because the darkest shade is cocoa, and you gotta fuck with all these other shades to make your shade. And they're all lighter than cocoa. How the fuck you gonna make your fucking shade? Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and act like I go to the beauty counter with issues, because I don't. I really don't have an issue. But the thing is, other people do, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I can't hold space for that shit. And that's why, again, a segue, I'm holding space for Pearl like a motherfucker right now, and that's really hard for me, because like I want to talk to Pearl about some real shit. I want to be able to like really like talk about everything, but the thing is, like, Pearl gets so hung up on like how black people are like have internalized like the racism against them, and have like, the thing is, like, as black people, we get hard on ourselves, not because we want to be, but because we're trying to hold on to that respectability bullshit. We're trying to be acceptable black people, and it's like, that shit is so whack to me, because it's like, the opposite of that shit is some white made shit, some white made blackness that white people profit from and white people get to eat off of, and they try to act like that's black, and how they can actually, how a white person can tell a black person you're not black enough. Why? Because you've been watching all these fucking stupid TV shows that tell you what black is. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's why black people are so disenfranchised, because we don't feel like we know what the fuck black is, because we don't get to see it. Because white people over here pulling the strings like white, and black people see black people act a fool for white people money. And it's stupid shit. And that's why I get mad at Pearl, because it's like, I know Pearl want to be famous, Pearl want to be seen and shit like that. But it's like, bitch, how you gonna sit in front of me as a fat, dark-skinned black woman and try to tell me that like I can pull myself up from my bootstraps? That's some classist bullshit. Pearl comes from a middle class income family, and she's able to like have support. She has a support system through her family, and that's great, and I'm happy for her. But at the same time, she feels like she's made it. She wants some other shit, just like Kim was, because she went to school. She's college educated. She can like lease have a lease and still go traveling and all this shit. It's like, you gotta see yourself as not just an individual. You gotta really look at what the fuck is happening. And honestly, she's had a lot of passes in life, but it just irks me that like she really can't feel me when I'm talking about white supremacy. She can see how black people have internalized white supremacy, but she can't tell me about white supremacy. She can't talk about the seed, you know what I mean? Yeah. She can't talk about the tree. She gonna talk about the shit that's falling off the tree.
Basically, she believes that we live in like a patriarchal society, and like the only
Obama. Did she say Obama? When she said Obama, that's when I knew.
The only like ramifications of white supremacy that are still occurring to this day are like the internalized racism we face ourselves as black people. And that's blaming, that's victim blaming. She's willing to victim blame black people, and I've had to call her out several times for saying things about black people, because it's just like, whoa, it's like, don't you realize that this comes from white supremacy? Don't you realize this comes from internalized hatred? And like, she feels like because she's natural, like that, like, you know, that's her like
trying to be black as black she could be. But it's like, if you're not feeling me about what the fuck I'm saying, I'm wearing a wig, like she tried to shade me about wearing a wig. I'm like, body autonomy, bitch. I ain't gonna fucking wear my natural hair for you. I keep my natural hair for me and for my people. Cause I don't want white people off of my fucking hair. I don't want motherfuckers asking me about my fucking curl pattern and no shit like that. Cause it's not important to me.
Yeah.
When I show y'all my natural hair, it's important to me. Like that's important to me. That's high clown, you feel me? Yeah. But I don't want it to be some vanity shit. It's just like, it's something that's very political and I wish wasn't political. At the same
fucking hair, that shit kills
I
me.
know.
Oh, how do you get like this? Bitch, that's how it grows out of my head. What the fuck? Like, I don't do anything to my hair.
Tanti, are you still going on tour? Oh, is Pearl still going on?
No, Pearl left her band because like, yo, like not only was there racist shit happening with her band, she like the thing is like she has so many blinders on, it's like insane. It's like she wears her hair usually really natural, but like sometimes like when she's on tour, she's telling me, she's like, yo, I could do a twist out for like 3 days and then on the 4th day I'm gonna wrap it up in a nice badu, and I'm like, word, I feel you. And like she did that, and one of her bandmates, this white dude, actually said, you know, I don't think it's a good look for the band, you wearing that rag on your head. And I'm like, a fucking rag? I'm like, I don't know not one motherfucker that's wearing a rag on their fucking head, bitch. That's a fucking kid said clock. Why don't you educate this man? And instead of educating him, just gonna say some like snarky little response instead of being like, listen, this is why this is not okay for you to talk about. And gave him bullet points. And like, it's just like, it's maddening because it's like she's telling me about all these racist experiences she's having, but she's chalking it up to like sexism, chalking it up to classism, chalking it up to all this other shit and won't see it for what it is. There was a white dude trying to find cocaine from us, and we're sitting there eating hamburgers, and she says to me, you want to fuck with this dude? And in my mind I'm like, no, because I already know white people are like looking for cocaine is crazy. But I was like, I don't really, and I'm trying to eat this hamburger while this white man was feeding hard. He was scaring me. He was like listening to Rihanna riding in circles around rallies. I'm like, that's insane. When the fuck you ever seen a white man eating ice cream cone listening to Rihanna on repeat, riding around rallies and shit? That's scary as fuck to me. I'm sorry. I'm like, bitch, you ain't even singing along. That nigga's scaring me. So anyways, this motherfucker gonna come out the car and try to talk to Pearl because Pearl over here fucking with him, and then he says something like hella racist, and I was like, that's pretty racist, and this is why. And I'm eating a hamburger, educating the shit out of this white dude, and then Pearl's like, this didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. And I'm like, bitch, you're supposed to be backing me up. Like, she's mad because we didn't get to fuck with him and like pretend like we was gonna fuck this dude. When in reality, it's like I was never gonna fuck this old ass, weird ass motherfucker. But the fact that he came over here with some racist shit and you didn't back me up really irks the fuck out of me. And also when I came upon you, because I've been walking with Pearl for a minute and Pearl was saying really crazy shit, and then I seen you, I was like, thank God. Like, I know Pearl said some crazy shit, you're gonna say something, and you did. And then I realized like that's an awkward ass conversation because like we in front of Ali's spot. I know Ali ain't trying to talk about this shit, but it's like I'm not gonna be sitting here scared to speak up because that's what they want you to be. They want you. That's too many motherfuckers are scared to speak up. I ain't one of them. I'm gonna say some shit if I see some shit, and that's just what it is. But with Pearl, it's hard because it's like I know she feel me, but it's like she don't feel me.